Hello, everyone, and hello, Shakthi. Exciting news. Warren Buffett just bought Google. So finally, he bought Google. What do you think about it? Actually, first time I've heard about it, from whom? From you. So, what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I mean,
Exciting.
his previous big tech purchase was touted as Apple, right? And Apple is still a big portion of his portfolio. But I think this is the first time they have invested, I think, more than 4 billion in a tech company like Google. It's not a huge amount when you look at their overall portfolio, but on its own, it's a lot of money, right? I remember they bought Snowflake, some shares in Snowflake for 1 billion few years back. After that, I think this is probably one of the biggest investments in a tech company.
That is crazy. I'm assuming that Google stock just skyrocketed after that news, and it was doing quite well in the recent couple of weeks or maybe a month.
I don't know if it changed because of the news, but it was already doing pretty well. Because it's been good news after good news for Google. And one thing I have noticed recently is OpenAI is having some issues with their cash flow because they're spending more than what they are earning. And
Yeah.
there is a question on how they can sustain it over the long run. But the CEO is confident that they can do it because the demand is pretty high. But the thing about Google is already sitting on a huge cash pile. They are not dependent on external sources to fund them because they have their other business. Now with AI, I saw last week or so they introduced AI mode where you can actually chat just like ChatGPT. Now the
Yeah.
difference is if Google can replicate everything that ChatGPT is doing, then why would anyone go to ChatGPT? Because everybody knows Google. It's a brand, right?
Yeah.
And when I'm doing my search, I'll also do my AI search. So Google has now positioning itself as a future leader in that space. And probably these are things which are giving a push to the stock price, which was a bit slow in a couple of years back. And not only that, they are doing pretty well even in their current businesses, YouTube or Google search or whatnot. So everything looks positive for Google. And probably that's why the Buffett team has decided to put significant money in the company as they believe that this momentum will continue for a few more years.
Well, let's have a look at some numbers. Please don't forget like, share, and subscribe. We will really appreciate this. So, this is our platform, StocksDojo, which we do use for stocks analytics, a few more other things, portfolio building, and to spy on super investors. I would just start from super investors and see who out of the managers are owning Google right now.
You might get from the aggregated top 100 hold. If you see the Google ticker, then you can see which manager is holding Google and how much percentage. We can start with Buffett and see what they have added.
Yeah, I just opened all the managers. We have here 34 managers. Third one is Warren Buffett with 33 tickers, and they have 254 billion.
But this is
So,
only outright stocks. We don't include the options and we don't include international stocks. It's all US based. That's why the number of tickers is lower than the actual portfolio, which has companies outside the US.
okay, I'm just opening their portfolio. We have top 10 holdings. There is Apple, American Express, Coca-Cola, and here we go, Google. That's the one, right?
Yeah. So Google has two tickers, GOG and GOGL. What you see
Yeah.
here, well, I think that's where they have invested, and it's more than $4 billion.
Yeah.
And yeah,
It's like 1.7% of total Berkshire portfolio. That's the number, right?
no, not the total portfolio. Is the total US portfolio for within Berkshire.
Total US. Okay, perfect. I can open Google and look at it just directly from
Yeah.
this page.
As you see, the chart over the last 1 month itself is positive, but if you look at 1 year,
So in the last 1 year, okay, that is year to date. We see 50% growth, but if I look at 1 year, 62%. Let's have a look at last half a year. Super positive. Now we're just moving down, and there is valuation estimators.
The stock price is currently around 285.
Yeah.
So what the tool is telling you is if the company grows at 25% in the next 5 years, because we have set the horizon as 5 years, and if we are expecting a total return of 8%, then
Yeah.
the current market price is justified. So if we believe that Google will grow at 25% in the next 5 years, every year,
Yep. Yep.
then the price is justified. And if you see the recent revenue growth is close to what? Is it 14%?
Or 13.9.
Yeah. So is it reasonable to expect Google to grow at 25% for the next 5 years? That is up to the person looking at this data, right? I'm not so confident that it might grow at 25% for the next 5 years. That's my opinion. But the stock itself was trading around 150 or so in April after the tariff announcement.
Yep.
And that was probably a great time to get into Google. If you change the company growth to, let's say, 10% in the thermometer,
Yeah.
if you see the
Down.
value drops to close to 150, right? So
159. Yeah, that's
if
right.
I had bought Google at 159, I would have bought with the assumption that Google has to grow at 10% in the next 5 years. Now, that is very much possible, right? Now, that's the right time to get into Google, and I would have thought it's undervalued. And I would have made a good return in the future if I had bought it at 160. But now I'm not sure if Google can grow at 25% every year. So if you truly believe in that because of the AI revolution and whatnot, it's still fine. So that's what this tool is telling you.
Yeah.
It's up to the user to decide whether it's fairly valued or not, because different people have different expectations about a company. Well, nobody knows exactly the uh, future growth rate of any company. They can only guesstimate, and based on different information that you have about the company and your expectations of the company, you can set your own growth assumptions. This justify market price gives you an idea. Okay, if I want to get 8% returns from Google, then I expect it to grow at 25% for the next 5 years. As simple as that. Now, will it grow or not? It's up to you to decide.
I see there is dividends about Google AI powered investor brief.
AI-powered investor brief, the latest report on the recent financial statements released by Google. I think the
Yeah.
outlook has been positive. So that's what you would see here. It's a highlight of their revenue and how AI has been integrated. Their cloud growth is another positive for Google, and the other
Yeah.
subscription services. Even I'm a subscriber of YouTube, and you have future growth drivers, which are technically the AI infrastructure. They're working with
Yeah.
NVIDIA, and then product integration and cloud expansion, so on and so forth, and management commentary. So, what do you see about? What is CEO saying about this company?
This is a terrific quarter for Alphabet, driven by double-digit growth across every major part of our business. So quite positive.
That is reflecting in the stock price,
Yeah.
and there are still challenges because Google always has to deal with European legal expenses. And as you can
Yeah.
see, there's a charge of 3.5 billion. For them, it's a very small amount, but it's always there in the back of their minds because they are always target for the DOJ, which is claiming that they could be a monopoly, so on and so forth. The legal challenges that Google constantly faces, but they are able to get through that. The investors are positive that Google will be able to manage these issues in the future.
Amazing. Well, there is one more thing I want to check, and that is related to ESG rating, right? Now we have this AI powered ESG insights for Alphabet. Should I click? Let's have a look. All right.
So it's trying to read through some of the disclosures that are available from the company and also other credible sources.
Okay. Well, that was quite fast.
You see what are their key initiatives, how are they measuring their progress, and there's also critical analysis because some of the claims may not be possible within the timelines that they are mentioning.
Yeah, like rising indirect emission. United Nations report, right, indicate that indirect carbon emissions from major AI-focused tech companies. I guess it is related to all tech companies, not just Google. Then In September 2025, Alphabet quietly removed its net zero carbon goal. But at the same time, there is sustainable development goal alignment, good practices around affordable and clean energy, and obviously industry innovation and infrastructure. So based on what we've seen, I'll do very quick rating. And should I submit? Would you change anything else?
Yeah, well, I think they do a bunch of stuff for gender equality and all that. So you can give additional points for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sustainable cities and communities. What's your opinion?
Let's open the report again.
That measurable progress relates to that particular metric, and then you see since 2007, Alphabet has been carbon neutral, electrification of their fleets, and then AI for sustainability. So Alphabet's AI-powered tools such as AI Assistant have been integrated into the fleet management systems to reduce emissions and improve efficiency.
Okay. That was affordable clean energy.
Yeah, that could be 7. Yeah.
Alrighty, I'm happy with that. Should we
Yep.
submit? Perfect. We rate them quite high on environment. That's 69 almost, right? And social 61 and governance 62. And then we can also compare our score with median score. Well, we are rating on environmental scale higher, and on social a little bit lower, on governance pretty much the same. Perfect.
If you go back to the super investors page.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that, the aggregated top 100 holdings, if you open that,
Yeah.
and you see Google is the 6th based on the conviction of some of the managers. Yeah. Now, if you go back to any of the single managers that own Google, you will see all the list of managers who own Google and how much they own. So that'll give you an idea of how much interest people have in the company.
Okay.
Yeah, Lilu has a bigger percentage, and you have Bill Ackman also holding a bigger percentage. Google is pretty famous among many of the super investors, and there are 2 tickers. If you combine the percentage conviction of both the tickers, you might get more than the number one.
Yeah.
So technically, Google is probably the highest preferred company among all the managers.
Yeah, that's cool. I see here Chris Horn, and from my memory, he doesn't have that many
Yeah, he
different.
has only 7 stocks as
7.
well. And,
Yeah, absolutely. And one of them, Google.
one of them is Google. So and actually, you can click on that. Yeah. So if you
Yeah.
go here, you see GOG, but he has reduced his holdings in GOG. Most of it is in Visa, Microsoft, and Moody's and S&P Global. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Thank you, Shakti. That was very interesting. Thank you very much, and see you everyone. Bye for now.
Bye.